I'm standing here in what looks like an ancient ritual site, but things aren't quite what they seem. You see, magic is not just a story. It's something that's fascinated humans for millennia. But what if I told you that what our ancestors called magic was actually just forgotten technology? That's what we're going to explore today. And trust me, it's going to change the way you look at history. Now you might be wondering how we got here. Well, it all started with a group of researchers who were convinced that ancient mysticism was more than just superstition. They believed that the rituals, sigils, and chants of our ancestors were actually codified patterns that harnessed hidden forces of nature. And so, they set out on a quest to uncover the truth behind these ancient practices. Their journey took them across the globe, collecting clues, deciphering ancient languages, and gathering artifacts. All of these seem to point to a single source of power, something that our ancestors revered and feared in equal measure. But as they dug deeper, they started to notice something strange. The descriptions of these magical phenomena started to sound less like supernatural occurrences and more like, well, science. That's when they formed a hypothesis. What if magic wasn't some mystical force, but actually an ancient lost science? As the team continued their research, they made an incredible discovery. They uncovered what appeared to be an ancient device, along with a vast library of information. This device could replicate many of the spells described in ancient texts. But instead of magic, it used principles of optics, chemistry, acoustics, and even electromagnetism. Remember the stories of Greek fire, the mysterious flame that couldn't be extinguished? Well, it turns out it was likely a form of ancient napalm, or the Antikythera mechanism, once thought to be too advanced for its time. It was an ancient analog computer. Even the legendary Damascus steel, with its superior strength, was the result of advanced metallurgy techniques that were lost to time. Temple doors that opened on their own? Probably automated using hydraulics. Voices of gods coming from statues, likely achieved through clever acoustic engineering. What our ancestors saw as divine intervention or magical power was often just clever application of scientific principles they didn't yet understand. But here's the most mind-blowing part. Many of the miracles described in ancient texts can be explained by this forgotten technology. So what does all this mean? Well, it turns out that those ancient myths and legends might actually be manuals. They're just missing a few pages. The real magic, if you want to call it that, is in our curiosity, our drive to test and experiment, and our ability to engineer solutions. In a way, every scientist and engineer today is carrying on the legacy of those ancient magicians. And who knows? Maybe in 1,000 years, people will look back at our technology and call it magic too.